this grant. And whereas the County of Young provides assurance that in the event of loss or misuse of grant funds, the governing body will return all funds to the Office of Health and Human Services. And now therefore be it resolved that the County of Young authorizes the submission of the grant request for the creation of a care team to provide mental health services in Young County, and will accept the grant once awarded. Passed and approved the second day of February 2024. All right, so we have a motion from Commissioner Cresswell to accept the resolution as written. We have a second from Commissioner Wiley to accept the resolution as written. Any comments? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. All right, guys, if we could sign this. So the next item on our agenda is to discuss and consider hiring Joe Gamble's firm, Strategic Economic Efforts, to write our Senate Bill 26 grant, and consider putting his firm on a retainer to write future grants and administer grants. So I'm going to call Joe Gamble up, and he is who we've been consulting with on this grant opportunity. And he's a professional grant writer who comes highly recommended to us from Young County. Judge Keith Umphris in Jack County is who recommended him to me. Joe's firm does a lot of work with Jack County, and they've had a lot of success writing grants using Joe's firm. So Joe has offered his services to our county to help us with this grant. But he has a couple of different ways that he could be retained to help us. And so I asked him to come here today to introduce himself, introduce us to his firm, and explain some of the options for not only writing this grant, but writing future grants for the county going forward. So Joe, if you don't mind.
Thank you, sir. By way of background, my name is Joe Gamble. I am a retired city manager. I am a retired writer for economic development and community development for the Council of Governments. And my company has a group of professional writers with various skills in various areas. And what I try to do is match the need with the writer and move forward. I was telling the chief that the writer on this grant 26 has never lost a grant that he's written. And so he's really picky about what he puts his name on and how it moves forward. So what will happen, and one of the things that we have found that works best is that the job is not over once the grant is written and submitted. What the state wants is reports, typically quarterly, that reflect, did you spend the money, because most of them are reimbursements, what did you spend the money on, and is this in keeping with what you told us you were going to do in a grant application? And so we've kind of reformatted our company to where what we will do now is we will research the grant, we will write the grant, we will help you submit the grant, and we will help all the reporting for a monthly fee. And that way what will happen is I will assign a writer to you to help follow this process. What we also do is and typically everything we communicate will be through the judge or whomever he may authorize for us to interact with. We will write for anybody that works for the county. We separate the cities from the counties. So if you're a city of 1,500 or larger, you would need to enter into a separate agreement for your city. But the county, for instance, rural fire departments, we will write for rural fire departments with your approval. So you can either A, call us and say, we have XYZ department, we need to direct, can you research and write it for us? That'll be included under this fee. And we will follow that. We write Parks and Rec grants, criminal justice grants, juvenile grants, almost everything but CDBG grants. And community development block grants is a whole new animal now. And so we found that we haven't been able to tame that animal. So we would refer you to another group for that purpose. Again, that's kind of what we do in a nutshell. If we find a problem or if there appears to be a problem, we will talk to the judge, and whomever he refers us to, we will work with that staff member until we resolve the problem. Our fee is $2,000 a month.
And that includes unlimited grant writing and for the county and the entities that fall under the county.
That is correct.
And then also administration services for the
That is
grants.
correct, yes. And what will happen is probably Christina Newell. She's the lead with Jack County. She'll probably be the lead for years because there's a lot of commonality between the two, and she can help. Really smart young woman. And I think you'll be happy with her. She's like most of the writers, very detail-oriented people. They will probably drive you crazy just asking you all these questions, but they have to have it in order, number one, to prepare the document, number two, to do the creative writing and make it look really pretty. And so she will be your liaison and your lead writing. She's not on 26 because this is a different grant. And so we're using probably our most senior, most seasoned writer.
So one thing about this Senate Bill 26 grant that's presenting quite a challenge is that it's one of the last grants that they've posted coming out of the 88th legislature. And they did not change the submission date. It's got the same submission date as all the other grants. So they posted it with under a month till the due date. And we didn't see it for about 8 days after it was posted. So, we're talking about 2.5 weeks, three weeks maybe at the most to get this thing submitted from when we actually saw it. And we've been looking for it. I mean, we were anticipating that it was going to come, and we've been looking for it. And so we don't have a lot of time.
And part of the problem with 26 is that in most grants, they give you a window to ask questions. You can call the staff or say, what do you mean by this? They shut this window off in the 18th. And there's no way for us to follow up with questions now. So it's the best guess situation on our part as to what they are looking for or what they are wanting as we write it. Now, I can tell you so far, the chief and the judge and others have been very good in giving us information that helps us write that grant. It's not just a mere fact of, well, let's write it, but you have to make the case for it. And you do that in numbers and data. Most people think and call us up quite often and say, well, I just want a grant. Well, what do you want the grant for? Well, I don't know, but I want a grant. Well, it just doesn't work that way. Grants work by specific need in nature and within specific time frames. So you've got to match those up, and that's part of what we do as well. So if you have a grant or want a grant, or if there's a city under 1,500 population that wants a grant, and you approve it because our contract is with you, we're good to go.
So another benefit of retaining him for this grant, there's two obvious ones, is one, if we were awarded this grant, the fees just for writing this grant would be significantly more than a year of retaining him for grant writing services. Plus, the fee for writing the grant does not include administering the grant, which the retainer does include that. And then the other benefit is that they see a lot of grants, and I think they'll kind of bird dog them for us and bring them to us, and I think will bring us ideas. Oh, this county's applying for this grant for this reason. Does this make sense in Young County? And then throw on the volunteer fire departments. I mean, they're always looking for grants and winning grants. They're going to fall, with the exception of Alney, which is kind of, it's a quasi city county. It would fall under the city of Alney. So the Alney Fire Department would be the one fire department that we consider our fire departments that wouldn't qualify. But the other ones could all write grants through Mr. Campbell's firm.
We're hearing that there's going to be fire grants opening up. We know that there's going to be communication equipment opening up. I think the cameras are still, law enforcement cameras are still open. I think the vest and shields for entry is still open. So there's a lot of grants, and we've written several of those that I believe are still open at this time. So,
but we need to get the Senate Bill 26 done first before we can think about that.
yes.
Does anyone have any questions?
Where's your office at then? Where you based out of?
Well, we're based out of Wichita Falls, out of my home. We have no website, we have no office. We work by referral only. So we find that works better, but because with a referral, there's always a history of this is what they do, rather than having to start fresh with everybody. And quite frankly, there's probably just some that we just don't want to write for. So,
How many grant writers do you have working with you?
10
10.
in various areas. Like I have a specialist on foundations, where she writes foundation monies. Does a lot of the Pretty Foundation and others that we're open to looking at when the season is open, when they're doing that type of stuff. And like I say, Parks and Recreation, we do transportation, all of those.
Yeah.
So like
Go ahead, Stacy. Go ahead.
when y'all did the grants for y'all's water and Loving, would they be able to help that as well?
Loving would definitely qualify.
I mean,
It's a
as far
community
as
under
community,
1,500.
but do y'all help with those grants? Like
Well,
water?
if you're looking at a community development block grant, we're gonna stay away from that, simply because there's another company that, well, they know it backwards and forwards and has a personal relationship with CDBG people in Austin, and we tried to compete. It was not pretty. So we would, if that's what you're looking for in Loving, we would refer you, and we have a good relationship with this other company. I just pick up the phone and call them and say, hey, go see these people for community development block grant. You're looking at $275,000 to $325,000 on that, water, sewer, streets, when it comes up.
Mona, do you have a question?
Yes, for the care team, I'm wondering if some of the data we track would be the taxpayer money saved by the care team's work, and how comparing, the cost before the care team existed and how they're saving taxpayer money. Because historically.
Believe it or
these
not,
kinds of-
the state is not worried about the money. They're wanting to know how big a problem is it now? And with your incentives and with your investment and with doing this job, how's that gonna reduce the problem? How's that going to eliminate some of that need that can't be met? And that's the story we will tell them. And with the data that y'all have given us, that here's the need, here's what we expect the care group to intervene with, and this is the impact we're making on it. We do that to prove the case of how we're going to use their funds, and it's a reimbursement. So the county's got to pay the bill, and the grant will reimburse the county. And some people don't realize it. They think they're getting a pot of cash out here. No, county pays the bills first, and then 30 days later, if you're lucky, you get your money back. And that's the way this system works. Matter of fact, almost all the state grants are working that way now. So we paint that picture of how to solve it. Now, what we would then do, if the grant pops up again next year or there's another version of it, we would fall back to this and say, see what money we have potentially saved because we have done it. But since we don't have that data right now, we can't use it.
So another thing interesting about this grant is we've got quite a bit of community support for it. We've already received letters of support for the grant from the Graham Regional Medical Center, Alney Hamilton Hospital, Alney ISD, Graham ISD is going to send us one. I believe the Sheriff's Office is going to send us one for helping us keep people out of the jail that don't belong there. And then kind of follow up to your point, he's not going to be able to tell us that. We're going to have to come up with how we're going to measure that as far as calculating, the benefit to our community. Chief?
Yeah, so some of that data can be derived from recidivism rates of client-based people. So, the ones that are on our workflow that are typical offenders, they go in and out of jail, we can see what that number reduces by as well. And then also once people get onto our service, if they stabilize, you have less call-outs on them from EVs to that particular address. We can see the reduction in call-outs, based on before and after care starts. Same thing with our ER admissions. We can track that as well. A lot of these folks frequent the ERs, and if that number reduces as well. So it's just, at first, it's going to be a lot of identifying who our client base is going to be, and then tracking that data over long term.
Is Jackson County still gonna be a part of this?
No, sir, not right now. That's not to say in the future that something might expand and we start touching our border counties. But right now, they pulled out, and it's just a new project that we're doing here. Kind of hoping that this turns into like a benchmark program that starts going across the state, because if we see great results here, other rural communities will want to emulate what we're doing, and it'll turn into something big.
I think
Jack?
there's a lot of potential for that. Texas has never been strong in the mental health areas. Never has funded it at a level of the need. So I think this is a tremendous program.
So the Jack County judge still wants to participate with us. He has a lot of enthusiasm. He wants to partner with us. He just needs to get the right people in some of those
Right.
other positions for that to happen, so.
Right, that's what we're doing.
Can we get Hazelberry to give us a number too?
Can we get what?
Get Hazelberry to give us a number?
We actually had a conference call with Helen Fairview, and we got a lot of numbers from them.
write for you will be covered under that 2,000 month, unlimited. Now, to give you contrast, as the judge referred to, if you want to do buy the grant, it'll be 10% of the first 100,000 and 5% for everything over 100,000. So as he indicated,
This grant would be a $30,000 to $60,000 fee
yeah,
without the administration service.
without the administration.
So it's, we could easily commit to a year and still be a better deal than this one grant. Plus, we're gonna get some help trying to find other grants and get administration services.
I mean, all you need to do, if you do the monthly thing, is somebody calls me and says, hey, we'd like to do this, can you find a grant? And then we're gonna comb through all the state and federal grants to see what is available, how much is available, and who are qualified applicants.
And I will say that the sheriff and I, we've been working on this for a little bit over a week now, and I have been very satisfied with the response of your firm, and I mean, I endorse the idea of let's take a shot and let's see if we can find a way to generate some grant money, more grant money for our county.
And if you don't like us, you've got a 30-day termination option. Of course, if you do that, you terminate everything, so.
With your experience, is there more money out there every other year because of the way Texas
It
moves?
varies, and sometimes it gets kind of scary. For instance, most of the state money is federal pass-through. And so if the feds are having trouble coming up with a budget, then we're going to see more difficulty in getting state money to pass through. The SB 26, the state is $30 million. And we will be competing with everybody in the state for that money. So it's not allocated by county or region or anything. It's wide open competition.
And maybe this short window is gonna help us.
It could,
You know,
yes.
really, it could, because it's not, there isn't a big pile of money there.
No, it's not a big pot.
And when do I understand that y'all, Joe, y'all will do the reporting on it?
We will do some of the reporting. We'll help with the reporting. For instance, there's gonna, if the grant comes through, there's probably gonna be a quarterly report that really has to be generated through the finance department, the treasurer, or somebody, and we will help, you know.
Or you.
What did you spend this money on? And we'll help develop that report for submission. But we don't have access to the data.
Well, that's what I want, yeah.
Yeah, and no, we're not gonna come in and climb through your records, no.
Ready for the forward dash?
Make sure we go through Mr. Level's term.
I think the big thing is that he's gonna ask for specific data, so it's not like you're gonna be guessing
No,
what you're
right,
looking for.
right.
So-
Well, that's how, even on that ARPA, when I had to report, I mean, I've got it right there.
Yeah.
All right, Commissioner Wiley has made a motion that we hire a strategic economic efforts firm, put them on retainer for grant writing services for Young County. And authorize me to be the contact for Young County between the strategic economic efforts. Do we have a second to that motion? We have a second from Commissioner Shook. Are there any comments, questions, or amendments to the motion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you very much.
I'm excited.
Me too.
And we've got a lot of work to do between now and Thursday.
Yeah.
Item number 5, discuss and consider burn restrictions. Is there anyone who wants to make a comment on that? All right. Item number 6, adjourn recess.
So moved.
Motion second, all in favor? All right. We're done.
What?
Gentlemen, off the record, I'd like to thank you for your support for this. I think it's gonna make a big difference, so thank you.
I tell you, and everyone I'm talking to, the hospitals, the schools, they're all excited. I think, you know, if we get this grant, then, you know, one of the first steps gonna be is to get all of them together, form some sort of board, and then, you know, it's not, they're all gonna contribute money to this too. It won't just be us. But we'll have to figure out how that works, but everybody has come up with an idea on how it will help their school, help their hospital, help their city. It should be a really neat thing if we can get it through. Yep. Yep. Is there a contract?
This one has to be one.
Perfect. Well, I'll read it
All right.
and get it to you.
Okay. All right.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
So we get that money, it will help.
Yeah.
But I'm getting older, my memory fades, so I
Yeah.
don't know what I check it to.
Agreement between Lloyd Higgins.
Let me get out of your way. That's yourself, but you sign it, you won't sign
No,
it.
I just sign it. I'll probably run it through Commissioner's Court to ratify.
Don't smile.
That we can get out in 30 days.
All right, guys.
It's exciting.
They're
All
not
right,
gonna be
so
able to
now-
help you.
What?
They're not going to be able to help you.
Oh. I'm gonna be the first one to sign up. Oh, I'm so excited. All right, so now we just need to know who to bug as soon as we get the thing in. No, I mean at the state level.
But if there's like
Who are the
some
decision makers?
natural
That's what we
studies,
need to know.
show you
Did you get
You're
the,
asking the wrong person on that one.
Perfect.
Did an amazing thing.
This is
We
the
get
contract, we're
this.
gonna put it on next week's agenda, or next thing agenda to ratify. Let's get Joe's, yeah.
It'd be pretty amazing to see the jail population going down. You know, we don't know how many people it is.
Thanks.
Anyway, all right.
I'll tell her that,
Always happy. He's right here, but.
it's upstairs in jury meeting.
No way, she can't be on that jury.
Yeah, she got, well, they're doing more dire today. But she got called on jury vacation last, what, a couple of weeks ago too.
No
So she's
way.
had jury duty, and both our cases.
You know what, I have never been called.
Yeah. I haven't for work, but not here.
I was called, I told him I
See if they're ready.
I mean, I have all these years being in jury, never got, not ever.
Yeah, we have drawings.
I'm always like, oh, you know, really? They did all that before we came on. Exactly, every time.
I don't know what y'all do.
Yes,
Y'all
exactly. One thing I've never.
What I'd like to do is take that over.
All right, guys. Now,
They
before you know.
clear all that, and then make it look good right away in there. We get our trucks in there, take care of the road and stuff. Yeah, I think it has it's somewhere, whatever there. It's something, when we get the building there, I'd like to see us put a good fence around that thing so we can keep the warmth out. And, we can go ahead and be mowing. We're someplace up a little bit. We're gonna do Tuesday, but we got that meeting now, so we're gonna go over Wednesday. We got your thing at
Yes,
8.
good work, everybody.
Again, one to replace.
It'll be a good thing.
Taking out all the trees.
It'll be groundbreaking for our company, or, you know, our side.
We're gonna do the trees first.
Well, it's like what we were talking about
We got our
before.
tripper out there, we're gonna clear the trees out where you can see what we're working on. We're gonna replace the tin board.
Your signs.
full of dishes.
Maybe it's a good touch up, you're a lot uglier in person.
That's what I told him too. I said, yeah, I should have took one of those
Stacy
AI.
just, you know.
I should have took one of those AI pictures.
That is.
Yeah, you get that older?
No, I'm gonna get a buddy for him.
All right.
What about
See
a
you guys
different
later.
company?
1769 right there.
He is, he is a problem yesterday.
The guy's name's Cliff. He's a super great guy. He turns it around like next day.
Other times, the other guy, he's that part, he's working on the other truck, but we was in a big hurry on the county truck, as long as we got that fire, so.
You wanna come?
I'm gonna be out,
Yeah, okay. He's right there.
Tuesday I'll be here, and
So,
then Mark and I will be.
or you go around the bend to go home with Gene. Tuesday night.
If you can add it to me, if
The Red
send
Barn
it
is,
to me,
you got,
whatever, or Sherry will be here, and I will let her know, so she has to.
They did the softball league over here.
So we can get that contract done.
Okay.
And
Good guy,
I'll-
too. Real fair.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you about it. I've heard it since I was out.
Yeah, well, tired.
Looking at it, just.
She's down there at the ball field all the time. They're doing it. I got her wound up one day, and told her, look, you get mad. I was just joking.
Well,
But she sure, league president.
some people are very opinionated.
Well, I just told her, hey, you know, I'm ready to get this up front. I used to be on the board. She's like, well, let's do it. I said, what you need.
Yeah, our next meeting is gonna
So she took it, I need to do this, she would do it right that minute, you know?
So.
And so what she went, I just told her.
Replace, finish that
Well,
out.
that ain't what we
And
did.
she started tearing off.
Let me tell you. Yeah.
Right, as long as it's.
Thank you, sir.
He said, as soon as
I'm
they got
excited.
that thing in, there's.
Ball is definitely-
We're moving, Stacy gets up, so they go, we get back to the yard, we're gonna bring the guy back, he knows what he's doing.
I talked to one of the
He
big
gets to work
guys.
under those conditions, all he's doing.
All bad, I'm sure.
Pushing a little bit
Actually,
further.
they actually.
He's not getting pulled back.
Pretty well.
Yeah.
So he's gonna come back, as soon as Stacy gets back to the yard.
Anybody in law enforcement, Jason gotta have a bad rap.
There's still something, there's a sensor,
My guys are taking
module,
off.
there's some little something that keeps it from operating at full capacity all the time.
This one is that he's withdrawn from the city council.
When it's not your game. Yeah, that's what he said.
I told him.
He said, as long as it's
I
your
work
regen
it out. I'm like, dude, you get this
perfect.
arena and it's gonna
Full,
be like.
full power, that, you know, you put a load on it, the car can just turn it. When it comes out of regen, then you get on it and unload it, once you install it, and that part is.
He talked today with Greg, so. He said it last night, so.
And that guy, he said over there.
I didn't realize it was a sex offender until today.
Yeah. We work
I'm
with,
watching this thing about somebody's dog over there. It's trying to get over kids. Dog couldn't do the apartment. And he lost the dog, he was sexually. And I seen that on the Facebook, and the other day, and talking to somebody about it.
yeah, we gotta tell him, we work on that thing, we're gonna get one.
Yeah, I'd have to look it back up.
I know it's got a new undercarriage, but the undercarriage.
If I see something like that, I'm on it.
Yeah.
Like a rabid dog, I'm on it. If I was, sex offenders, all you do, anything you do. that's
Brand new,
against sex
150,
offenders,
greater than we got in last week, we got 8 hours on it. Laid down overnight. Placed the filter on it one day. Little crash.
It's unpredictable.
And then came back,
But,
all
yeah.
on it, the fuel pump out.
Yes, it is.
Come back, you bring them parts with it.
I was just
We gotta
waiting.
do our diagnosis.
Yeah.
Can't require just to
Well,
do
if
this
they
for
want to
warranty.
enter into the contract.
So jack with it one day, come back, out the fuel pump on, the fuel pump on.
We would do, I know Henry had a fault. And they're doing.
And the thing about it is, I'd already arrested Chad before
Yep.
that. And
Deal with
this is disability and everything.
It's faulty fuel pump.
I would say this, that's what, that's bad.
Looks bad, doesn't it?
We went in this direction, and by line, 3 pages of those requirements.
But, yeah.
might charge us $800 to work 3 times, and they better not be. Oh, me.
8-hour machines, man.
Thank you, sir.
Just like we're gonna say that.
I don't understand that. Don't take my time.
All right, thank you all. And that,
I like that your idea. After something.
if we.
Last thing that we did with them was that block grant, through money.
What is your logo? Oh, you got, man, look at that. I like it.
Well, they're gonna make it took care of other things and then still right now. Yeah, sometimes it's hard and we'll do it together.
So,
And then I think the CDBG program.
Laurie can,
But they don't.
I talked to one before, it doesn't work. I asked them, hey,
And if it is.
They sent me when they sent us an email.
She is really good.
Yes, well, I can't see it until after the 12th. I'll let you know when I know something. That's all we're doing.
I talked to them.
I talked to her. No, I didn't. I know that you don't know.
Absolutely.
I have the RV park over there.
You're asking the wrong, you're asking the wrong guy.
Because that's what I hear there.
We'll have to get all these shit.
Yeah, that's why
We've got some
I
good people.
because, and that's why I started this. Everybody's hard to run all 3 things together, so that's what we try to do. Yeah. But
Looking forward to it.
let me know, I mean, in some cases, depending on what you want, water flow. And in some cases, USDA does, they don't have no interest. But sometimes it can be. So,
Two problems.
I've seen it.
We were supposed to.
I think you and I need to get educated as to what they approved in the past. And I talked to another plan, because I've never heard.
What do they have to do with Sam? It's going to be about the shop. Making the streets there. We get rid of all that.
Appreciate you.
All we gotta do is build another building, which has already been. I assume all that's been approved, but I don't know how much, or what it's gonna look like inside the end, that's.
Have y'all approved, construction of a metal workshop out of Fort
Aesthetically, it's gotta look like another part.
If you get there, it's gonna be worse.
So there's several. And if it is a CDBG, what we will tell you is CDBG regulations. Kind of, you think? Yeah. If that's the best route.
30,000 is better than 90,000.
Way better route. Say nothing. Because they're usually already marked.
It's kind of like, you know, the
historical markers down in jail, all they have done is ensure we'll never put any.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know he wrote all day yesterday. I know he's writing again tomorrow.
Well, I may be
So, I don't know what their recommendations, but you heard what's going on with that, what it's supposed to look like? Yeah,
Because I was telling you about that like 10
Right,
years
right.
Mott's is the one that came up with all that.
Right.
We're working on that, and I'll get that to you.
Get that to me, because he'll probably be able to build it. Again, we're making a case.
More data, more information.
Absolutely. Thank you. Y'all take care.
Take pictures, everybody in this room, and you can get a lot of data real quick.
Needs our services.
Well, we're not in the treatment business.
I will be.
Yeah.
Every day, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. I think you're right. I think it will set a precedent, that really will go a long way. I think once people see it up and running, they'll move in that direction.
Not to be in your program, but do you have disc replacement?
He wants to
Yeah,
display the
twice.
cannon, drag it across the street.
Twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once we get through this.
Take a picture, you're gonna
Okay.
Kind of what's our fire department.
see it live in action.
I got here, they need equipment and help.
Well,
And I'm fixing to get you truck.
Okay.
Get your car on.
let me know. We can do that.
Take a hold, right?
There is.
See ya.
Bye.
You can see the.
See y'all later.
Have a good one. I'll be there Monday morning.
Pass.
Right back when you're done with it, okay?
Oh, wait a minute. Y'all never bring
We've
it
got
back, y'all
a,
get
we
them.
had the county owns a fire.
That's a different situation though. I gotta get
Sitting
Tony Schmidt to come back, and look at it
in
again.
the
What y'all do
barn
to it
for
now?
the city
Still ain't
fund.
right.
And
Big
then,
turbo on
but
it,
it's
but
the
it's
county
still-
owns it,
still losing power.
and it's only used for responses out of the county.
I'll play with it.
And we need, it's a $500,000
Except
by
when it's,
construction.
low,
So, yeah.
been warmed up and running full gas, after it regins, except when it's regins, it's fine.
That they have.
When it goes back into regular mode, he said it's under power.
So that the equipment has to be all.
While he was in the yard, it was like 45. When you get out in the field, it actually uses it.
In the loading lot here.
So then that will qualify, because it's an outside city.
I'll take you out.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, it,
On your big tree, push on
they
his
made it so good. They made it so good.
See y'all later.
Again, my belief is they're looking at the cities that have loading lots and they're saying, well, cut these 5 blocks out.
Yeah.
If you put a fire truck there, now, who's gonna say whether they respond to fires outside that area or not?
Well, every fire department responds to a wider range, so.
But it has to be housed.
Yeah.
So that's just another way they've cut the rural areas out.
They house it just outside the city limits, and then they just drive their Suburbans over there and hop into it.
I don't think they're not gonna be watching that.
Yeah.
But we've gotta find that little lot.
I don't even know what that term means.
Low moderate income.
Oh, low to moderate.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what would qualify here. I mean, our school system, we're considered a financially disadvantaged school district, so.
Well, what we would have to do, we would have to, the first thing you look at is the average wage in Union County. And then 80% of that would declare the little line max. Then we would geographically have to define what that area is.
Okay. It'd be interesting to see what that comes out.
It would be.
Every county has that, it's just you gotta define what it is. Okay.
But the other part
And
of
then
it is
load it down one day. Took me a year to get it back to where it was. So you reset it before you walk in.
Yeah, I know.
Party last night.
I did. Yeah, I didn't see it.
Yeah. is my fire representative.
Oh, okay.
And my boss.
No, all I want to do is better say, hey, is there any access there for fire equipment, or anything like that?
Yeah. Once we get through Senate Bill 26, the next thing I think we would start looking at is trying to. And then,
They're telling me that it's probably going to be either the Homeland Security or FEMA. FEMA has a category for fire departments. The question has been, feds going to finance it. You know, this won't be a state grant, this will be a federal grant through FEMA. And so the question is, are they going to put funding in that category or not?
Well-
And if so,
How are you?
what is it going to be?
Are you upstairs? Are you
And
courthouse
we've looked
security?
at several for Denton County, we've done.
Well, I mean, maybe they went back upstairs.
For Denton County, we can.
Yeah, they're gonna do sexual.
And we've looked at that.
Child sex
Now,
things.
and I think probably if we choose the areas.
But he was here, but he's gone. So maybe it's upstairs.
Or potential finance money for it.
Like, we bought a building for,
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
why is that? Why, I guess you figure you got one to
it'd be a lot better.
Nobody.
Getting the mortgage service is fast, sometimes it's
You
really.
know, yeah, there are too many places.
And
So,
so,
and so what we would do is, and one of the things we have to do as grant writing is be a little bit creative in how we look at things. Maybe what we're looking at is Homeland Security.
Yeah.
Because of the fire. And you need people to do that.
Yeah, letting the word get out.
And we might be able to look and see how to do that. So there's a lot of options out
So
there.
they're,
And what we can do is present the options to you. You tell us what you want us to do.
it was a pleasure meeting you. Get out of here, that's what I will get done.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Thanks, sir.
Let me know what you need from me.
We'll do it and have a good trip wherever you're going.
I'm going to Houston. My other job, I work for the oil company. And once a year, we have there's a big oil expo down there.
Oh.
There'll be 15,000 people there, so it's always interesting when you kind of see the new trends and the new ideas. And
But just getting into that Houston traffic.
I lived there for 15 years.
Yeah.
It's big.
I was city manager down in League City.
Oh, I'm very familiar.
Yeah, back in the growth years when it was just starting to
Yeah.
grow. Yeah,
Yeah.
And it got any better, it's still crazy.
Safe travels.
It just went.
It's in
legal 5 minutes, so I put it on.
I'll have somebody on it.
That was it. I just took a picture of quick, sent it to her, so I'm like, "Oh, hell." And I jumped in the shower, she's texting me back, making fun of me. I said, "You lied to me," go ahead and turn back around, go. I thought she had mixed some shit up and tried to get me good. That's rough. I guess that was.
You won't take it.
Well, I wouldn't go.
I realized that if I don't get it, it's not working. So I need some form of accountability there for us. Making it nervous. think that most of the majority of the council got one-sided about this whole thing. No, she was in the banking business, so she worked in budget numbers and things like that. I'm kind of the point right now, as the day-to-day business goes through. So I don't understand why Bill Myers said that it was a conflict of interest for me to be in. But, I mean, there are literally hundreds of different city managers, police chiefs all over the state all the time, and there are a lot that are assistant city managers. But I think that was just Bill Myers. So I'm like, whatever. If I don't have to sign something that work out. I don't know all the last calls that he's made that were significant. I even tried to tell them that they could lose 1,000 feet. If you were to be overruled, you just listen to that to us. They should have. I think they're getting bad legal advice on the whole city law thing right now. Because, I have a lot of experience with HR now. And I'm like, at minimum, they should have at least looked into it. For me, that's like a political hot thing. So, it's not a good situation. There's somebody right at the center of it.